So Valentine's Day is coming up on Friday, and many people will associate Valentine's Day with giving of roses and chocolate and romantic cards. I remember one of the characters in The Simpsons trying to woo Lisa. And so he gave her a card, and it had a train on the front that said, "I choose you."
Oh, Ralph.
It's like Ralph. It's like it's like the
Yeah.
epitome of Valentine's Day in my mind. But I've always been interested in Saint Valentine because there are some amazing legends around Saint Valentine. So over the years, I've done reading around Saint Valentine. I find him fascinating. I find the day just doesn't reflect who he really was. Now, but here's the thing. He could have been one person, or he could have been three people that have been amalgamated into one. The guy that we think about the most was Saint Valentine of Rome, and he was martyred in 296 AD. But the first written mention we have of him is a few hundred years later. Now, that doesn't mean that it was made up. It probably means there's an oral tradition that was passed down. But exactly what he did, we don't know. There's a whole stack of legends, but it's the fact that he was martyred was always what the big deal was in the church. Not necessarily that he might have married Roman soldiers that weren't supposed to get married, or...
Can I make a confession here, Frank?
Yeah.
This is not very romantic.
No.
But I don't really know anything about this, to be honest. Everything you're saying to me is news to me about Valentine. I'll be completely honest. I didn't even think about Valentine's Day being associated with a saint.
Yeah.
In my head. So this is all like, wow, what is this?
I don't think most people do.
No.
And then when we do know that some of these big cultural things that we celebrate are connected to a saint, usually we've layered them with so many things that the saint is really obscure. So think about St. Patrick's Day. What do you associate St. Patrick's Day with?
Guinness and the Irish.
Having a Guinness. And busting out some clover and some green flags and having yourself a really good time, which obscures St. Patrick. Not that it's a wrong thing to do. Same goes with Christmas and Santa Claus and St. Nicholas. We've obscured who St. Nicholas really was.
Sure.
And each of these saints were really gritty people. So St. Nicholas was a big defender of orthodoxy. So when Arius proposed at the Council of Nicaea that Jesus wasn't really divine, it's St. Nicholas that walks over, slaps him, gets in prison for it, and then has to make things right. Like, that's St. Nicholas. And then he does some amazing things to get some girls out of needing to be sold into slavery. Like, that's St. Nicholas. St. Patrick was a guy who warred against warlocks and wizards, and legends have him like driving snakes out of Ireland. And he was taken into slavery as a kid and then came back to preach the gospel to those who enslaved him. Like, that's a gritty saint.
Yeah.
Saint Valentine, tortured and martyred. And so then the prayers that the church traditionally prays around Saint Valentine don't look anything like the kind of tubby little angels shooting love arrows. Here's
Cupid, wasn't there?
Yeah.
if you walk into any traditional old monastery, the prayer, the little collect, little prayer that they'll pray to gather together the day on Saint Valentine's Day is this: "We beseech thee, Almighty God, grant that we who celebrate the heavenly birth of Blessed Valentine, thy martyr, may through his intercession be freed from all impending evils." It's like the traditional prayer around the day that celebrates St. Nicholas is about his intercession freeing us, of saving us from the flames of hell. Like, no matter what you think about saints and saints interceding for us, no matter what you think about hell or the nature of evil, those are the sort of saints that give me hope. And I think they give the world hope. But it's that gritty stuff that I think we as Christians need to come back to, those real stories of our heroes and what it is that they really stood for. I think if Saint Valentine knew that he was associated with chocolate and roses and tubby little angels shooting love arrows, I think he'd be like, I think you missed the boat.
Yeah. I think you're going to save a whole lot of people some money Here, what's the script? Where's that verse?
You can still be kind to the person you love on Valentine's
You can still be kind. But you still be really kind.
Yeah.
But these saints are saints that give me hope. Whereas some of those cultural celebrations, while they're good and they're fun, so I'm not saying do away with them, there's something grittier and more wonderful and more hopeful here if we recognise these saints as they really were.
Well said and well put there, Frankie.
Nice to have you back in, Frank.
Thank you.
We'll see you again next week, hey?
I love you, Frank. Happy Valentine's
I
Day
love
on
you.
Friday.
I choose you.